Hi, this is Kevin Yates, and my new book is called The Stress-Free Diet, the last 4 stress-reducing secrets you'll ever need to lose weight and live well. Now, have you ever wondered why some people seem to do everything right with their diet and exercise program and still fail to reach their weight loss goals? And in over 10 years of working with people doing everything from low-carb diets to high-protein diets to low-fat, no-fat, and low-calorie diets, and even people working out 5, 6, and sometimes 7 days a week, and still failing to reach their weight loss goals, that I've identified one thing responsible. And in fact, it's something so powerful that it can stop weight loss dead in its tracks, regardless of how good your diet and exercise program might be. So what is it? Well, simply put, it's stress. But there's a little bit more to it. You see, we know that there are certain stresses that are considered unhealthy or bad for us. And we also know that there are stresses that are considered healthy or good for us. But here's something you might not know. You see, our bodies cannot tell the difference between the two. It's just stress. And the way that our bodies react and respond is all the same way. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. So if you're wondering, well, what does this have to do with weight loss? Here's where it gets interesting. See, every time we experience stress, whether good or whether it's bad, it accumulates and builds with us. And it pushes us up higher to our threshold. Now, we all have different thresholds for stress. And once our stress levels accumulate to a high enough level where we get pushed above our threshold for stress, our bodies start to produce excessive amounts of a hormone called cortisol. Now, you've probably heard of cortisol as the quote-unquote stress hormone. And here's the thing. See, when we're consistently producing elevated levels of cortisol, it makes it almost impossible to lose fat and reach your weight loss goals. And the thing is that with stress, most people are constantly running around above their stress threshold. So they're constantly running around with elevated levels of cortisol, which makes it a real battle and struggle to try and lose weight. So where does that leave us? Well, we have stress-reducing strategies. But the problem with it is that most stress-reducing strategies are focused over here on reducing the negative or quote-unquote unhealthy stresses. Those are the stresses that you might feel when you have a project due by a certain deadline at work, or when you're worried about paying your bills for the month, or you have certain fears or anxieties, or when you're around people who stress you out. But what's missing is these ones over here, the quote-unquote good stresses. Again, remember that our bodies can't tell the difference between good and bad stress. It's just stress, and our bodies respond the same way. So when it comes to losing weight, we have to effectively manage the positive and the negative stresses. All right, so where does that leave us? Well, there are certain techniques and strategies that you can use that will be focused on raising your stress threshold higher so that you can tolerate more stress without going over your threshold. But the problem with that is that it takes a really long time to achieve a high enough stress threshold. So the other solution is to effectively learn how to manage not just the negative but the positive stresses. And those are the ones that I teach in my book, the 4 types of stress: physical, mental, emotional, and food. So in other words, you might be feeling stress from worrying about how to pay your mortgage, or a fight that you may have had with your spouse. Or you might be feeling stress from having a good workout that might feel healthy for you. But again, your body doesn't know the difference and responds the same way. Even the food you eat, some foods that you might be eating that you think are healthy and good for you can actually be toxic and stressful when they're inside your body. So that's the focus of my book. I teach how to recognize the 4 types of stresses and manage them with some simple yet highly effective strategies that you can use immediately so you can start achieving your weight loss goals now. All right? So in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments or feedback for me, go ahead and contact me on my website at www.yatesperformancetraining.com. And I thank you for watching this video, and I wish you all the best in losing weight and living well.